Okay, so this week on Cooking 101, we have a fun idea for your next Halloween party. We're back with Jen Rao, owner of Around the World in 80 Cakes, and she has a crazy idea today. Tell us a little bit about what we're making.
So today we're actually making piñata cookies, which are just what they sound like. They have a little surprise in the middle. So they're actually 3 cookies in one, and you get to put a filling of your choice in the center to surprise your guests with.
You can do peanut butter frosting or chocolate candies, all sorts of stuff. So let's see how this is done.
Okay, so today we're going to be making these awesome little piñata cookies. They're actually 3 butter cookies in one, and the piñata part comes with the filling. So they actually have a nice little filling in the middle, and that's the surprise. So here I've rolled out some chocolate cookie dough. Now when you roll out your cookie dough, the key to it is making sure it's cold, because that's what's going to make it easier to handle when you're actually working with the shapes. And I've cut out some cauldron shapes for Halloween. I also have a little tombstone, any kind of fun Halloween cookie cutter you can use, or any other kind of cookie cutter. So I'm going to take my tops and bottoms and move them over to a parchment lined cookie sheet, and these are my middles now. So for these I want to cut out the center, and you can use a cookie cutter that kind of fits. So I have a round one that fits perfectly inside my cauldron that I'm going to use, and if you don't have a cookie cutter that works, you can just use like an X-Acto knife or a paring knife and just cut out the center. Just make sure you leave like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch border so that the cookie is still stable. So just line it up right in the center and then cut out the middle, and hopefully it'll just stick to that cutter and you can pop it right out, and then you can move it very delicately onto your cookie sheet. And actually I put all my tops and bottoms on one cookie sheet, and I keep my middles on a separate one because they bake a lot faster than the tops and bottoms. So if you put them all together, they would end up burning. So these, the middles, bake them about 8 to 10 minutes. Tops and bottoms are more like 10 to 12 minutes. So once you've baked and cooled the piñata cookies, you can now assemble them. So I have my top and bottom in my middle here, and to assemble them I'm going to use kind of like a sugar glue. It's really just powdered sugar and water, and it's pretty forgiving, so you can kind of control the consistency. If it's a little thin, add more sugar; too thick, add more water. And I just put it in a zipper bag, got a little rubber band to kind of help me squeeze it towards the end, and I'm just going to cut a very fine tip off the bag so that I can pipe it and spread the glue onto my cookie. So I'm going to take the bottom and flip it so that the flat part is facing up, and I'm going to do the same to the middle, and I'm going to apply a ring of this little sugar glue around there so that it'll stick to the bottom of the cookie. Now in that hole you can put any filling you like. So I have some little candies here that I'm going to fill it with, typical for a piñata. You can use, like in this one, we used a little peanut butter, buttercream, chocolate ganache filling, whatever kind of filling floats your boat, that's what you can use. If you're using candies, just make sure they don't get too high because then the lid won't go on. But that looks pretty good. So same here, I'm going to make sure that the flat part is facing down, and I'm just going to pipe a line of this glue right on the rim of the middle cookie and place my top on. Make sure they all line up and are pretty even. Press down just to get it to seal, and you're pretty good. You can see once it actually dries like this one, they're really solid. You can use the same kind of glue to sort of draw any decorations on the cookie. Like this one I did a little zigzag. You can use sprinkles while it's still wet, but it will dry to a hard kind of texture so that it'll be plenty stiff. And that's how you do it. So we hope you enjoy making these piñata cookies, and maybe you'll surprise your guests at your next Halloween party.